Alright, hello, howdy. I'm posting here. Let's post. So this is gonna be for the April 2nd to April 4th event for Sever Weather, most likely in South Central Plains. So, going into, alright, we'll start right here. This is 0Z. Here are the temperatures, alright? I'm so stupid. Stop clicking stuff, alright. Alright, and let's move on. Let's see what happens here. I haven't done much research actually right now, but from what I'm seeing, it obviously, you have some cold air blasting down south. That obviously will, honestly, in my opinion, hinder tornado risk because it's cooler, you need that warmer air, but dew points and stuff like this. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so now you have your cold air going into 14, 16, 17Z, and you see how it shoots up in temperature. Bro, I'm so stupid. No, stop. You guys get to see me do this all day. Anyways, so yeah, now we have our temperatures back. It's 18Z, 12 in the afternoon. It's hot. It's decently warm outside, especially, obviously down here. It's pretty toasty. Over here, in the 70s, mid-70s, could get to the 80s-ish, especially in West Texas. It's going to be most likely in the 80s, if I had to guess. So that's our temperature. Let's look at dew point. I don't want to do wind barbs yet. Right, so, not much dry air yet. And then you see, you just have this dry line setting up almost. Right along here. And you have this just pronounced dry line right here. Actually, I think I know what's going on here in the temperature department is a warm front. I forgot about that. It looks like a warm front is shooting up from the south, because watch this. As you can see, later on in the day, you have this cold air, right? It's cooler, and then within about 4 or 5 hours, you just have this surge of warm air coming in north. And that's that warm front, doing its thing. Let's go back to dew points. Look at this. And now you have your dry line being set up from mainly, I want to say, north. It's into Kansas. It's going all the way down. And you just have this dry line. And you have very moist air. Let's take a sounding off it. Let's see what it does. It's, if you had, let's see here, let's take a look. Wind could be a little bit stronger, but, if you had more cape, you'd get honestly, a pretty good atmosphere for conducive for tornadoes. I'm all over the place right now. So now we have our setup. Well, kind of. You have a dry line, a well-pronounced dry line, and a warm front surging in. That's going to create lift, and now you have storms starting to pop up. Let's go look at the Cape values for that event. So you see nothing yet, and then we have this kind of surge. And as this dry line, we'll go to 18Z. Oops. Oh yeah, that's for later. I'll just stop right there and do that. As you see, you had your warm air coming up with that warm front, and you have this dry line setting up. And along that dry line, you're getting a whole bunch of these, pockets. Not really pockets. You have like a separate area over here in Oklahoma. Then you have this area in West Texas, southern West Texas, along the dry line, and then you have that lift coming, so that'll create thunderstorms pretty much for Texas, honestly. Not on the west part, but more the eastern sides of Texas. As you see, a lot of Cape forming up here. 2,000. Let's take a sample. Look, now you have Cape. Decent strong winds. A little bit, lesser winds up in the upper atmosphere, but 0 to 3 kilometers. Looks pretty good. Photograph. It's alright. It's okay. You might get a weak tornado out of this, an isolated tornado threat. But, still something to look out for. Alright. Let's move along. This is now, we'll go to 21Z, which is, oops. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry, though. This time. We'll go to 21Z. Alright, so now you have even more well pronounced, actually, and still that one front. Now we have Cape in excess of 3,000. Check a sample. It's good, but that photograph will kind of hinder it just a little bit. You don't have as many strong winds, and especially in the lower region, a lot of just straight winds. Nothing really, no turning, no shifting in the air. So it's going to kind of hinder the ability for that rotation to start, coming in place. We'll move along. We'll go to 0Z the next day. And then, you still have this pocket. We'll take another look. 3,500 Cape. Marginal severe. Kind of have a cap in place. The photograph's a mess. You're not going to get much anything, and then it kind of fizzles off. So that'll be the 4-2. Let's look at, actually, we'll look at shear, whatever. Bulk shear. We'll see what happens. Alright, so this is, we'll go to 18T. And you notice how you don't have like much shear. This is low level shear too. This is 1 kilometer above the surface. And honestly, not much strong, low level shear as someone would expect. In the middle, obviously could get I want to say a tornado, but isolated tornado risk here and there. We'll move along into 21Z. See, still not much shear going on here. And that's going to hinder it. That's going to hinder storm rotation and stuff. So, kind of. I'm not actually like a meteorologist. I just like weather a lot. And then you have more of the shear. It's becoming more pronounced, all this good stuff. Not good stuff, bad stuff. But yeah, so that's what's going to happen. Kind of. We'll see what the Storm Prediction Center says and the National Weather Service says. We'll see what they say. I feel like it's going to be mainly a hail threat. Not much of a tornado threat. Isolated tornado here and there. Alright, let's go for I believe it's the 4th. Yeah, definitely the 4th. 3rd going into the 4th. I guess we'll just do 3rd. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Kind of have this cold front setting up here. Or warm front. Let's see here what happens. Oh, that's something you don't want to see. It's like the dew points, Let's see what happens. Go over here. Sorry, my voice sounds really raspy. And look at this. You still have a lot of that moisture. And then later on, that dry line really, becomes well pronounced right here. Just a straight dry line. Well pronounced near the DFW metro area. And you could get storms firing off that. I need to drink water. Anyways, let's look at Cape values. Right? And then Doing this at like 2 in the morning. Right, let's see what happens. You know, it fizzles out from that last event. And then it just surges. I mean, watch. Within an hour, boom, you just have this surge of super duper strong cape in excess of 4,000 joules per kilogram. Let's take a sample. Look at that. Now, there is a little bit of a capping inversion. Not much. Storms will probably just fire off no matter what. Hodograph. The shear's just not doing much, honestly. We'll go a little bit east. Let's see what happens. Remember, this is all forecasted, so it's like this is not set in stone. Don't really have a cap. Very strong winds. This is definitely more of a tornado producing environment than what we saw earlier. And I think that'll be the story. Oh, we have 5,000 kp here too. Uncapped, pretty much, except for just above the surface. And this is a straighter hodograph, but still, that is a very favorable, pretty favorable hodograph. Don't worry about that. Let's not worry. All this stuff, these 4 boxes are basically useless. This is kind of like, really, lap stage are good. The cape is in excess of 5,000. That's conducive for a very strong tornado, in my opinion. Over here, more west is more of a just a regular, like it's just a tornado. That doesn't mean you still can't get very strong tornadoes, but yeah, I think that'll be it for the video. A lot of back and forth stuff going here. Could be different, but yeah. So that's it.